Somewhere right now, a founder is betting everything on a vision nobody else can see yet. A CEO is making one call that changes everything. And a leader is finally stepping into who they were always meant to be. The difference between those who dream it and those who build it? They found the right ingredients. I'm Julie Riga. This is Stay on Course Ingredients for Success, and you just pulled up a seat at the right table.
Stay on course, find the ingredients inside of you. A little courage, a little grace, the legacy you leave is the life you choose. Stay on course, every story's got a recipe. So pull up a seat, take your place, and cook up who you're meant to be.
Welcome, everybody, to the next special edition of the Stay on Course podcast. I am live here with the amazing Fabian Martinez. So excited to have you. And Fabian, this is we've been working towards this. We've been working towards this, what we call this piece of art that you've created here in my studio. It is it's real now. People can see it. People out in the land of live streaming can see the studio.
Yeah, it's super exciting. I love it. I love what you've done with it to add your own personal flavor, your colors, the plants. It's really coming together. Everything that you've put together. It's super professional. I'm super excited, and we are now bringing it to the world.
Now we're bringing it to the world. You know, it's funny because I'm laughing at the plants part of it. That's the funniest part because. Because what they didn't see were all the containers that I had of wires, Fabian.
That's the magic.
I've been collecting, Fabian, over the past 4 years. I've been collecting technology, and I think that's what we're going to talk about today. We're going to talk about collecting technology. So for the past however many years, I've been collecting technology. I have all of these boxes full of cords. And I said to you when we first met, I'm like, Fabian, I think I have everything. I think I have mostly everything, but they're all in these boxes and I'm not quite sure how to tool it all together. And that's where you came in and you're like, all right, Julie, let's see what you have.
Yeah, I remember when we had our call, you were telling me all the different things that you have. And it's crazy because you had invested so much into your technology. And the hardest part was just putting it all together. And you know me for quite some time, and I'm the perpetual tinkerer. This is what I do. Even though I'm doing video production, as a career, I play with it. I'm constantly I'm the madman in the lab, just constantly playing with all the different tools and toys and trying to see. I'll admit I'm the first person to go on YouTube and I'm watching things that I will never buy, and it's just technology and all the fun stuff. So when you told me, for me it was like going to play at the playground. I was super excited. Because I was like, okay, for sure, this is great, and plus it's it combines a lot of different aspects, technology with aesthetics and what you currently have, and it's almost like a piece of the puzzle, the Rubik's cube. You have to twist it around to find to get everything all in the same color or the same space, and work it around. And I remember that day we were like, oh my God, what are we gonna do? How are we gonna do this? But it was great because it took your expertise and what I did, and we kind of put it all together because you knew what you wanted. You had the vision. It was just me kind of bringing that to life and saying, hey, in order to make this the best, because what we did was twofold. We did a workstation where you can work and you can do your live calls from, or
right
we have a setup.
Or here.
Yeah, exactly. The workstation setup. And then, like you said, like behind you, you see there, it's like, okay, now I want to, have a tool where I can now tune into the podcast and I'm sitting next to somebody else. So It was great. It was great. We created almost like the multi-tool of,
Yes,
podcasting right there in your
that's right.
space where you can,
Yes.
with a couple clicks of a button, you can now change it into something else. So
Yeah,
it was
I
my
think
pleasure to do
everybody
it.
needs it. Thank you. Thank you. I think everybody needs a setup like this. It's really brilliant because now I can bring people here. I don't have to go rent out a studio and I can do my podcasting here right from this camera and just really have all of the bells and whistles that I need to do that. And I think like it is an investment to have a setup like this. You have to put some money into it, but once you get it going, it's the gift that keeps on giving, Fabian.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I think, and for people that are tuning in, you don't necessarily, you were ahead of the game. You were ahead of the game. Most people that I talk to aren't in that. Like, you had a camera ready, you had lighting. Most people don't have that. They don't know where to start, and rightfully so, because it took me time to figure out my whole setup and my whole look and what I tried to find. But you could really, truly, honestly, you can shoot with your iPhone and doing something similar. Obviously, it's not going to look a certain way, but if you have a light, and for me, this side of my face is my window. If you have a window and you have an iPhone, you could create your own look and your own aesthetic. It's just putting in the time and really reworking how you want to do it. Because, like I said, you were way ahead of the game and we played with the tools that you already had. But most people, even though they don't know it, you could create something with just your iPhone. Like, you could put it on a mount or a tripod and you could start to create your own podcast. You could start to create your own look on Zoom, really with what you have.
Yeah, it's so true. The iPhone does an amazing job. But Fabian, there is one thing that I tell people when they come on my podcast. I say, please, if there's one thing you can get is an external microphone. And the reason why is I have an external microphone that levels my vocal sound up. So if you're on my podcast and you don't have a good microphone, there is a disparity between the voices. And that doesn't sound good when you're listening to the audio. So I tell people, if you want to be on my podcast, there's one request I have: get an external microphone. And that doesn't have to be expensive. They have good ones that are not that expensive. You probably can get one for $50 and you can go all the way up to $800 for a microphone. But I do think that if you're going to invest into any piece of equipment right now for your home office, it is a good microphone.
Absolutely, absolutely. I mean, really, like you mentioned, you can really dive deep into microphones and all the fun stuff. And I know, for your particular mic, you have a podcasting mic, but on my end, I have a lapel mic somewhere around here. Yep, a lapel mic right there connected to me. And if you're shooting on your iPhone, you're simply connecting one part of that, and then you put it on, and it's done. It's truly plug and play, and you're already in there, and you can sound worlds better. I would agree, especially if you're going to do things like podcasts or you're going to go on a lot of Zoom calls. Nothing kills the experience more than sounding like you're in a tin can or that you're miles away, and then I have to crank up the volume and then you start getting hisses and static noise, and you're picking up air conditioners. Nobody's going to tune into that. So I think you're 100% right. In order to start something as serious where it's audio focused, like podcasts and Zoom calls, then you need to invest in at least, at worst, and mine's not expensive. I'm not here rocking a $5,000 mic. This is, I think, maybe at this point, $90 on Amazon, and it completely changes the way you sound as compared to something on your iPhone. So it's minimal ways to start. I think that's the important thing, is like minimal ways to start to get you sounding night and day better. Because you said it yourself, you have a requirement in order to come on here. You can't sound like you're recording on a potato.
I've done it before where people are like on their phone and they're talking to me, and I don't like the result. I don't like what it sounds like when I get it back because my voice sounds so much different than theirs. You know, it's almost like if somebody were to come to my podcast, I would have to not use my microphone if they were not using theirs. That might make it sound better because we'd both be at the same equal quality. But when you have a microphone that is warm and really nice sounding, and then you have somebody that's not using it, it's a real problem, especially on a podcast. So
yeah, and not to get like too technical, but even when it comes to that, if they're very low, like let's say they're using their iPhone microphone and they are far away, you on your side, you're going to have to like fix their microphone, and then it makes yours higher, and it's almost playing like this seesaw where you're trying to figure out the ideal thing, but they're sounding, you know, you had to raise them up so it sounds like you hear their air conditioner, you hear the birds chirping in the background, and then yours is nice and clear, but now the audience is like raised up to the top. So I 100% agree with you. It's you don't want to play that seesaw, and you want to make sure that you're, you know, and especially for them, you want to come to the table sounding good, looking good, especially if you're going on a podcast, like, because this is your first impression, and first impressions will kill your company, will kill your brand if someone knows that you are going in there sounding like you just pressed record, or you pressed record on your iPhone. So yeah, couldn't agree more. But technology is this super hard thing to keep up with. So for those of you that are watching that are like, oh my God, I don't even know where to start, you're not alone. You are with the majority.
yeah. And that's what you help people with, Fabian. You help people use their phones as a tool, as a production tool. Tell us about that course that you have that's available right now.
Yes. So it's called the Profitable Content Launchpad, and then it's a beginner start. So a little bit about who I am is I have been doing video production professionally for about 5 years now here in South Florida. And for the people that I've met, business owners, you know, I've realized there's a gap in the industry where I'll admit, first one to admit, I am not cheap when it comes to video production and doing it professionally in businesses. So there's a high bar for smaller businesses to reach, because let's say you're selling flowers, you know how many flowers you have to sell to afford a $3,000 video. It's just not attainable. And so I created a course for the beginner business owner, because Lord knows I am one of those that's wearing 25 different hats. I'm the marketer, I'm the finance guy, I'm the sound guy, I'm a little bit of everything. I'm the bookkeeper. And one aspect of that most business owners know is like, they know they need to get out there. They know they need to get out into the world to talk to people. And how do I reach that in the quickest amount of time? It's the internet, it's social media, it's my website. You know, you spend all this time creating that, but no one knows you exist. So with the course, it's teaching you the basics on how to create content and giving you a roadmap as to start here. Create this first, because it's a game. It's a game, and you know the last thing you want to do, and there's nothing more discouraging, is going on social media, spending 3 hours of your time creating this one video and 2 people watch it. And so, you know, what is this formula, or how do I go about things in order to create, a video, and it's going to serve me long term. It's going to serve me 5, 10, 15 years from now, where people can trust me. They know, like, and trust me, and now they will purchase my item. They will go, because there's nothing worse, and I guess I'll end it with this, is like when you go to Amazon and you see a product and you're like, man, I need to buy this such and such. I have this pain in my back. I need to buy some special cream, and I go to the special cream and it has no reviews. Right. And so you're sitting there like, why doesn't it have reviews? And you go to the other product and you see one has 4.8 stars, and you're like, oh, well, 95% of these people liked this particular object. I'm going to buy that. It's no different with your business. If people go to your website and you don't have people singing your praises, they're going to wonder why they're not singing your praises. And so they're going to go on to something else and go on to a different thing. So we address that in the course, where we're teaching you the basics, and we're giving you the opportunity to create professional level content with something that you already have in your pocket.
It's amazing. All right. Well, we're going to be sure to share that link to your course in the chat. I'm super excited about our conversation today. I think I'd love to continue these conversations. If you have any questions for Fabian as far as what equipment you need, how to make yourself look better on camera, how to just level up your whole set, let's say, Fabian's the perfect guy to do that. Some of us are doing things that are more like you need to lend itself more. People are podcasting. There's entrepreneurs here getting on podcasts. That's one set of individuals, right? But there's a whole set of professionals that are watching us right now that are on Zoom calls every day. They're working from home. They're working globally. And in this little square, it matters, how you're showing up. And so we want to make sure that we look right, we sound right. It's no different than putting on the right outfit, is having this right look, right? What's behind you? What's in front of you? Are you lit up? Do you sound good? I think these are all things that we can do as professionals to level ourselves up so that we're in the game with the other people that are doing it. So it's just a matter of, what do you want to do? How do you want to level up your professionalism? Can you pay a little bit of money? And I think like for $200, Fabian, you could probably level up your whole look here on camera. And I'm not talking about like the way you look, your hair, right? I'm not talking about that kind of look or your clothing. I'm just talking about your lights, your camera, your microphone. Your lights, your camera, your microphone. It matters. And it matters how people are perceiving you. Fabian, what's big and new for you? What's the next thing that people should look out for you?
Yes. So right now I am doing, the next big thing is workshops. So I am going out and giving people a lot of the value that I charge thousands of dollars for. And I am showing them the basics on how to do that themselves because, the way I look at it from a business perspective is like businesses like IKEA. Like you can have someone come to your house and build you a table, or you can do it yourself. And so you go to IKEA, you buy the things, you assemble it, and you create, that lovely table that you use for years upon years. And so I'm going to be doing workshops starting on June 25th. I'll be doing my first workshop where I'm teaching business owners how to create a video testimonial. And I promise you, I am not going to turn you into Steven Spielberg. You're not going to be creating this grand movie and we're going to be doing all this technical stuff. It's very bare bones. It's very much showing you the basics and you understanding how it helps your business and how to just ask the questions. Because I know so many times business owners, especially when they're like, man, I need, video testimonials, but what do I ask the person? What do I, what do I say? What do I, what am I getting out of them other than them talking about what it is that I do? So I go through that, break it down into little, bite-sized pieces so that people can use that and take it as to add it to a little tool in their marketing pocket, their little tool belt, so that they can create better stuff. And that's essentially what I want to do. Is I want to do that workshop, teach you the bare bones, so that at least at the bare minimum, you can go out there and you can start to create content that's only going to help. But I talk about myself, but I also, with you and we've been talking so much, and I want to learn more. I want you to tell people what you've been doing with the podcast, because there's so much going on, and I think we need to cover it.
Yeah, well, so thank you for that. The podcast, Stay on Course, Ingredients for Success, it's doing really well right now. We are charting in entrepreneurship and in business, and really excited to be joining the Believe Network. So that is just happening as we speak. My podcast migrated over yesterday, so I'm going to be part of the Believe Network and really talking to small business owners, asking people What are their ingredients for success? How can I help them elevate their business through the work that I'm doing? And we want to be showing up live places. We want to be doing some live podcasts, and then also being able to share some video shorts with people to get them excited about what we're doing. We're talking about Fabian doing some live podcasting events and also visiting small business owners in their very place of work. I like to call those episodes scenes from the table. And so hopefully we'll be able to work with some small business owners as a collaboration to bring podcasting to your location, to your business, and build an event around it, build some professional development training around this, and to help people really elevate their presence. So that's what's going on with me. Thank you for asking.
Yeah, it's super exciting. I think the collaboration, especially since we are providing just different angles to small businesses, that, I feel like you can spend hundreds of hours going and trying to find all these different resources and all these different things, and as a small business, you just don't have that. So the fact that I think you and I are collaborating is going to help them a lot find things and get information on things. Because Lord knows we've spent the time. We've spent the time doing all this digging around and deep diving. And if we can pass that along to small businesses that are, wearing those 25 different hats, I think that's going to be very vital in educating not only them, but also the communities that we serve.
Amazing. Well, Fabian, it's been amazing. We were just testing this out today, and we're already talking for 22 minutes. So I just want to wish everybody a great day. More from Fabian and more from me as we stay on course and share our ingredients for success. Bye, everyone. Have a great day.